In this video, we're going to show you how to remove and replace the left front, that's the driver's side, strut assembly. To remove your tire, a 19mm socket, and these are studs, not actual lug nuts. That last one, I'm going to just partially pull out, make sure my hands are free. And now we can grab the tire and pull it right off. I'm just going to spray my sway bar link connectors. All right, so we're going to take off the top nut first. Now, they do supply a Torx or an Allen. It's a Torx head, but this is a 19mm socket or a wrench, and I'm going to use the air first to see if I can loosen it up enough, but more than likely I'm going to have to switch over to a wrench and a Torx bit. Well, I'll take it. I just put the nut back on a little bit, and I'm just going to tap it out. It's just a habit, because I don't like to tap anything with threads on it in case I need it again. So first thing I want to do is remove the speed sensor ABS wire from the housing. That's just basically you're going to grab this and pull this right out like that and separate it from the strut. Now we're going to take our two lower strut mount bolts out. 18mm wrench on this side and 21mm socket on this side. And then I'm going to do the bottom. Both the same size. As you can hear that washer hit the ground. Make sure we grab that because we want to use it to reinstall. Take that bolt right out. Take that washer out of the way. Don't be afraid to just wiggle this knuckle back and forth. Much easier to get that bolt out. Now I'm going to break it free from the knuckle. There we go. Set it aside. So I've lowered our vehicle, and I'm going to take off the top 3 mounting bolts. There's a nuts on the studs that come through the strut cap, and they're 13mm socket. So let's just do it. I'm going to take them all right to the top there, because the strut is going to drop down. I can always grab the inside because I don't want it to damage anything, like cut the axle boot. So I'm going to try to hold it up. All right, then down from the fender well. Got it right out. Now before we put our new assembly up, I'm going to take the locking nuts that it comes with off so we can guide it up in. And you can see, take a gander at the plate here. The plate does spin very freely. So we're going to look at the top here and see where would that flat piece go. And I'm going to say here, facing the outer edge, because then I can see the 2 closest bolt holes are here, and the furthest one is there. And it's going to mock just like this on the top of this cover. 2 closest ones, and the furthest one. I'm just going to grab the spring area and just see if I can got it right back up in there. I've got one showing, so I'm just going to give myself a quick break. Easy. .13mm socket, and I'm just going to bring them up so they seat. I'm not going to torque them or really tighten them up. Perfect. Now I know there's tons of play there because I want to torque it down. All right, so now I raised it back up and I'm gonna put the knuckle into that strut, the base of that strut. And I'm just gonna grab it, pull it forward like this, and I'm gonna get one bolt ready to go in, rock it back and forth, and then I'll put the top one in. Don't forget the washer goes first, then the nut, same on the bottom. And that is 1821. And we're gonna snug it up and then we'll torque it to the specs. So the top bolt does pay a little bit to the actual alignment. So the best way to do this is to make sure that you push in like that and it's in all the way. And then I'll do the bottom one and I'll grab the torque specs. So the torque for the lower strut mounting is 59 foot-pounds. So I'm going to put my 21 millimeter socket on and 18 millimeter wrench, and let's torque it up. And the lower strut mount torque is 48 foot-pounds. Now I'm going to put my ABS wire back in the bracket. Just slide it right in there. And now we can put our link back on. Pull down on that bar. See if we can do it by hand. There we go. And let's take our lock nut. Remember, this one is bigger than the bottom one. I'm going to put my locking pliers in the back and get my air gun. 18 millimeter socket. I've got the link. All right, so now we're going to put our wheel back on. Now, when it comes to European cars, I always try to leave, want to bring one of the studs and put it in my hands because, like the Volkswagens, Volvo, they have the stud lugs instead of, so you've got to hold it up in there. Make sure it's centered the best you can. Always start it by hand because that wouldn't be pretty. That's 19 millimeter, so if you want to get a socket, you can pre-start it. So the wheel torque is 81 foot-pounds, and you're always going to want to torque in a star pattern. And then double check. So now that we've lowered the vehicle, all the weight is on the tires. It's not suspended at all. That way we have these struts seated. We don't want to try to pull it up through the stud to ground to bottom it out. We want to make it the weight of the vehicle on it. And now we can freely torque these 3 strut mounts. And it is 18 foot-pounds, 13 millimeter socket. And now don't forget to get an alignment. When only the best will do, demand TRQ. The only company that lets you view before you do. TRQ is committed to offering the highest quality aftermarket auto parts that are engineered for peace of mind. Thanks for using and viewing with TRQ.